but if he's on the backside, if he's the one getting pressured, I don't think this hero is going to be able to do much.
Seems like when we see him, you know, he ends up getting to that point where he's picked up that Desolator. It looks like he should be able to fight, but that's like the make or break moment, right? You either get those fights or you don't, and the hero completely if you end up being able to match that timing and not allow him to kind of push ahead of the net worth pack.
Yeah, there are two ways to build this hero. We're talking about Falcon Blade into Deso, into Aghanim Scepter, maybe throw in a BKB if you're really depending on it, but the other way is to play with the Battle Fury as well if you think you need a little bit more scaling, if you don't necessarily need to join some of these early fights. So far from what I've seen, this Deso plus Falcon Blade seems to be superior type of a build-up.
We'll see if it is that. And a lot of reserve time here for Tundra thinking about this final ban before they get into their final pick. Looks like they're going to be needing an offlaner, right? Although they could be going mid. They banned both the Primal Beast as well as that Puck. So Primal mostly played for the mid lane. Puck, maybe you're getting rid of a matchup, but if we see Timber mid, he could just be placed there. He's a bit of a flex coming into this last pick.
Both of these heroes that Falcons did ban are very, very good against not just Pango, because he really hates to play into Primal Beast ulti, into Leash mechanic, but also great against Gyrocopter. And if you look at the amount of stuns that they do have against this Puck, there aren't really many left in the pool. Like, they don't have any ways of controlling. Rolling Thunder's not reliable, Ice Bat as well, Gyrocopter's Rocket's pretty meh as well, Bounty Hunter, they just don't have enough lockdown for him.
And they got rid of the Doom. It almost makes me think that they're looking towards potentially throwing this Timber in the offlane, maybe going Storm Spirit mid, because there's not really much here that's going to stop a Storm from being able to just take over the game. You're not going to hand that Ice Path for the most part. And yeah, there's that Storm. I mean, it's just such an open game for him right now. One pick may not be the difference maker in stopping this Storm Spirit from being able to just take over.
They need some kind of a stun. They need some kind of a control to be able to deal with this Storm Spirit. Otherwise, from the mid lane, or they can shift this Pango to the side lane and find something new for Malrine if he wants to play it. I love the Doom ban. I did talk about Mars because it looked like a really good game for it. Falcons did opt to go for Bounty Hunter instead, a little bit more scouting, and now they need to figure out how they're going to be dealing with these two supports. I think because there's still some heroes left in the pool that Amar plays that could be annoying, but there are also counters for it. If you talk about Centaur, there is Timbersaw on the other side. You use the Stampede, you get disrupted. Stampede is good against Shadow Demon ulti, not so good against Fiend's Grip, against the Sleep as well.
Not too certain what really gives them everything that they want. What checks every box? They need something reliable as a stun here to slow down, or maybe somebody who picks up an Orchid early, right? And they go Bristle. But that's not lockdown. That's not control against these heroes. And you can kind of control this Bristleback with the Nightmare and position him to be pointing your way and maybe set up for these other heroes to make sure that they can kill this Bristle. I'm not too sold yet.
This type of a lineup from Falcons, it needs to be explosive. Like, they need to be able to have good lanes, get some extra track gold coming, and then have Skeeter to join some of these fights, because right now what I'm seeing is this is a lineup from Tundra that scales kind of well. Two supports, they are depending on the levels. If you get your XP runes stolen, these heroes are not going to be able to do as much because you're relying on your level 6s. So you want to have that Fiend's Grip early on, you want to have that Demonic Purge, but overall, I would say two solid drafts. Tundra does have more control, does have more stuns. This is something that Falcons are definitely lacking.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Bounty Hunter lineup, if it's going to be able to get to that 6, find that pop-off point where you're able to get that gold. And is this lineup from Tundra going to be too quick for them anyway? You've got Timber, you've got Kez. If Kez wants to go into the Falcon Blade as well as the Desolator, I mean, you could fight right there and then, and a Storm that's not going to be caught is going to give you the control you need with Vortex and everything. I'm really worried about this Falcons lineup. I'm not sold on this last pick into the Bristle, and I'm not sure what would have really sold me on their draft considering the lack of lockdown, but maybe Bristle is that hero for them. It's a bit concerning, but they are having a bit of a chat trying to figure it out before we get into this game number 1. What do you think's going through the minds of both teams coming into the first game on stage?
I have good lip reading skills,
Yeah,
and
no,
from
go
what
for
I
it.
understood, AUI was talking about turn your back on Bristleback. Don't let them hit you from the front. I could be wrong on this one, though.
That's really what you got from that? I mean, that makes sense. We'll see as both these teams are starting to lock in. I think I personally favor Tundra coming into this first game, but not really too sure just yet. Both these teams fight really well up against each other. Their matchups have been exciting. I expect us to be going to 3 games anyway, but to break it down a little bit more, we do have a coach's interview with Lizard. We're going to send to the stage and hear what they have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by one of the biggest brains in Dota right now, Moon Meander. Tell me, how confident do you feel in your draft right now?
Full confidence. We have lots of Kez this hero. I don't know how to play it, but it looks good to me.
Is it difficult to draft around Kez when you don't know like all the little spells and all the little things that it does, or are you just joking and you actually play the hero a lot?
No, I tried playing the hero while my team was watching me. They were memeing the whole time. This hero, I have no idea what it does. He has like 9 spells, you know. It's just like cool heroes. Spins around a lot.
Just does a lot of things. One more question. Bounty Hunter, are you afraid of it or not? Late game comeback for them?
I feel like this team really excels when Kurt's playing his heroes, and I feel like it was weird that I saw Bounty Hunter. Yeah. Maybe it is his hero, but let's see what they got for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Moon Meander. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear the lovely voices of B-Cop and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Let's get into game number 1, Falcons against Tundra. A repeat of the grand finals, as I've said a couple times already, and we have all red facets here for Falcons. A rare sight, but Twin Terror secondary strikes. It's not Afterburner.
Yeah, that's why they picked Bristleback. You were wondering, so he took the seeing red, so everybody can have that red facet as well.
Oh, okay, so that's how they figure out how they want to strategize.
Something that Moon Meander talked about is the Falcons are kind of the scariest teams when they are playing comfort heroes, and I'm kind of seeing that, especially Amar and Bristleback, this hero. I don't think many other teams want to touch this hero because it kind of feels it has been figured out, but the way Amar does, and he's the best player in the world, if we're talking about him turning around with his Mars, so with his Bulwark, using the Bristleback, and like every single time, it's just so much clicking, dude. Every single time you watch him play, he switches power treads on the end every single time. This is something that the professional e-gamers do. It's on a low cooldown, so it does require a lot of brain power as well. Us boomers, I believe there are a lot of boomers watching and a lot of boomers in the arena as well, since Dota is a relatively old game, that are like, also, what is this bird hero? Like, what does this hero do? Because even the coach doesn't know what he does. He's like, yeah, it's a cool bird, and he spins around, and yeah, this is I would say, one of the more complex Dota heroes that we ever created.
Yeah, it's not a hero I touch, as you know, my MMR doesn't come close to any of these guys, so I let that hero just be. I won't be interacting with it, but we'll see what the Kez can do. Skeeter here with the secondary strikes. I'm a little surprised. I feel like this is either the first or second time we're not seeing Afterburner on Gyrocopter throughout this tournament. But Amar here with Crit in this bottom lane. You can get these quills to kind of stack up a little bit, but unless they're really out of position, I don't think this is going to be a kill lane for Falcons at the beginning. Maybe they get a rotation over. Maybe somebody comes through the Twin Gate, and they could make that jump, maybe come through with the Jakiro and come in, but...
Yeah, I could see that happening, but this is definitely not a killer lane by any means. They're going to be probably getting a kill if a return kill if something happens, but this is not a lane that you kind of want to be playing aggressive. You can already see that both of them do have 10 stick charges. You are playing against Bristleback. Interesting support duo from Tundra. I would say this is not the usual pairing, Shadow Demon plus Bane. It has been popular a couple of years back with the double save support as well.
Yeah.
But seems like Falcons, they don't care too much about it. Like, if you look at their cooldowns, the longest cooldown they do have is Rolling Thunder, and Pango's still going to be playing the longer fights as well. And also something to point out, Pango in this one did go for double jump facet. So wants to have extra bit of tankiness. I think this means that he's playing against the Storm Spirit, something that is bad against him, and he just wants to be as tanky as possible in the fights compared to the Thunderbolt facet where you are maneuvering slightly easier with the Rolling Thunder.
And if you got 2 tanky heroes that can just stand at the front, double jump there with the versatile back, then Gyro can kind of do his own thing, survive, and throw out that damage, stand his ground, something that Gyro is very good at, especially with that flat cannon when he's able to just not be touched. But we'll see if that ends up being the case. You know, maybe Kez goes in, Raptor dances, and tries to turn it around.
Yeah. Also, one thing to point out about the double jump facet on Pango is you are giving away 2 magic wand charges, so be careful about that, whether you actually need to use it or not. Sure, you're getting some extra bit of a damage, extra bit of a shield, but still, it does feel like in a lot of situations, it's really not as worth it, but definitely matchup we're talking about here against the Storm Spirit, and so far he's doing good. 19-1 against 19-2.
Timbersaw's actually struggling a little bit. Only 10-2 to this point, but Amar getting chased. Pure looking for this first blood.
Big number.
They'll go under the tower, and Pure on this Kez, chasing this Bristle all the way down. I'd like to explain how that works, but sometimes Kez just confuses me. He just keeps going.
I believe it was the parry that he used, or Puri, as we want to call it, considering it's Pure on the hero.
Give you a chance
Rain's
to
playing
get the
very
plug in.
aggressive.
Yeah, this lane is, we'll see what BZM can accomplish. BZM's been playing very aggressive in this event up to this point. I feel like he's so willing to rotate, maybe go these side lanes, get a kill. Both these supports, I would say, for Tundra also do a decent job of going for these runes, so 6 minutes is going to be very important for both these teams. Malrine sitting here just about even. He'll pick up this water rune, nothing that BZM can do about it. He'll just put a little bit more damage on. We look over bottom again, and they are just diving in on Kez. The Echo Strike lands once on crit. They've got the Nightmare onto this Bristleback, and Amar just posturing very far forward on both Whitemon and Pure. Pushing this creep wave under the tower, making things uncomfortable, at least for the moment, and nobody rotating just yet for Tundra. Maybe they want to bring the Shadow Demon down here, but they're not anywhere near the Twin Gate with where their wave is at top. So it's not so easy to just kind of walk in there.
You said 33 is struggling for a good reason. He's playing against Jakiro, he's playing against Gyrocopter, so not an easy lane for him by any means. And this is what I want to see Ari do. I want to see him stack for his Storm Spirit, even stack for Timbersaw to be able to clear the Ancient Camps once he gets to his level 6. It's going to take a while, but eventually he can definitely farm it. Crit so far. Been just scouting things out. Level 3 on Bounty Hunter.
Now we look back over towards top. Ari and 33 going to work on snaking the Whirling Death with the Rocket Barrage. Not with Afterburner, but they are trying to put the poison stacks onto Snaking, maybe get a kill there. Not a lot of mana for Ari. They chase them back. They'll go back towards their Tier 1 tower, and that will be all they can get done on Tundra. Crystal's definitely a hero that can...
that missed. Almost canceled it.
Well, let's take the salve away, but now the turnaround with the Dual Breath just pushing 33 back. And, you know, Amar on this Bristle is a hero that can kind of sustain himself. He doesn't exactly need to have much help. Crit can rotate around, and this is what I was kind of hoping Bounty would do to get to that 6 quickly, but where's your opening if you're Bounty Hunter to get killed?
Trying to make something happen around 6-minute power run.
All right. Shield rune from Malrine. Both supports coming over for the side of Falcons, as well as Tundra. But BZM not getting that refill in the bottle. Whitemon did have that sentry down for a second, but Crit well aware of it, standing right next to where it got placed down, so he's able to take it out immediately. I would say both these offlaners can kind of stay by themselves. Maybe not so much 33. He's got to cut this creep wave, try to stay away from the Jakiro and the Gyro. But you are seeing Ari just kind of stay up here to try and protect him just in case.
Crit scouting things out in the triangle to see how many stacks they do have, because they do have heroes who can relatively easy invade enemy triangle, and I think that's what Falcons want to do.
Oop.
10 seconds until that
Courier
XP
or
rune.
Shrine.
Gonna get the courier first.
Now he's going to try for Shrine. He's also going to have Skeeter here. Do they have the rotations coming in for the side of Tundra? They've got Whitemon over here, but they may not expect both the mid and the safe laner to come in and try and take this, and this would just be a Shrine for Crit, so they get both Shrines. He got the experience for the first one. Now they'll go for 33, and he's just dead with 3 heroes here with this mid-rotation for the Shrine. 4 heroes are up top for Falcons, and it's already a 2,000 net worth lead pre-track. As well as the fact that Crit got both those Shrines to give him some experience. He's already pushing to a quicker 6.
Something that I point out during the draft is that these two supports from Tundra, they need levels. They cannot let their XP rune get stolen, and it seems like Falcons, they also know about it. So they did manage to take a tower, kill the enemy offlaner, steal the shrine with these moves, bringing the numbers without even committing. Like Rolling Thunder wasn't even used.
Nothing really big to commit there, and this is just Crit now coming over towards mid. We'll see BZM, but he's level 7. I'll be able to see Crit and put the damage on, and Malrine now nightmared back to his high ground. That'll be pulled off by Crit.
Malrine's not dying. He has double shield passive, plus he has a shield rune on top of that. Also, their damage is very limited between the two supports. Like, you need to be able to play a bit of a longer fight with Shadow Demon. Storm Spirit wants to keep zipping in. Now, BZM trying to find something in the enemy triangle to see if they have any stacks going, considering that you are playing against the Gyrocopter.
Well,
this is a pretty, I would say, standard spot for a ward, and Snaking is going to find it.
Yeah, cleans that up, gets some gold, and Pure, he is level 6 over in the bot lane. He picked up this Falcon Blade, and he is going into the Desolator after, as he finished those treads. Waymon's been leaving him alone a little bit, so he's had access to some free farm, and he's just about tied here with the Gyro. Mars already backed off into the jungle. He's got Blade Mail queued up as his first big item, as he's picked up treads as well as an old talisman. So things not exactly popping off from either team, but kind of to be expected based on the drafts.
Based on the drafts and based on how these two teams play, they don't necessarily need to be running over the opponents. They're playing a bit of a macro game, a bit of a stacking game where they are getting the gold. This is something that Falcons did extremely well, but so did Tundra as well, creating basically gold out of nothing. We're talking about, you know, some of the older strategies with Alchemist, with Doom, with Bounty Hunter, Midas, stacking, instead of just focusing on the lane, focusing on the kills.
These supports, quite a bit of experience here for Falcons. They're going to probably hit that level 6 first for the side of Falcons. Is Arjun level 3. I mean, this is not a lot going for him, but you could have a lot going for you if you come and join us at the Sava Center. Exclamation point ticket in the chat, or click the banner below to join us from October 31st. That's today to November 2nd. Tickets for the finals start as low as €12, so come join us. Pure, Ravensvale getting away from both Crit and Amar. But Crit trying to keep on Pure and maybe find the vision to continue to look for something, because Cedar's made the rotation down here bottom. Pure's going to be spotted. The Shadow Walk stun will start this off, and then they've got the homing missile. The chase is on, and even with the grappling hook, he can't get away. It's an easy kill onto the Kez.
This is kind of a Skeeter specialty, coming through the Twin Gate, ganking the enemy carry, allowing them to kill the tower. Again, Falcons bringing in the numbers. 4 heroes, making sure that they get a kill, they get a tower as well. Still yet to see a move from Tundra. This is a move on Malrine, but again, supports are still not level 6.
Yeah, but they're doing some decent damage if they can stick with him. BZM still has a good amount of mana. They'll get a kill on a Malrine, and now the Nightmare. But do they want to dive the tower for the Jakiro? They got what they came for in the Pango, and they don't need to push for Snaking, and they'll just leave him be. Ari, already track here for Crit, and he already starts with a kill.
Not bad. That's almost Drum's finish. Not just Drums, but he also has Cobalt Cup as his neutral item. We'll pay the price. Tundra bringing in the numbers. They did secure the power rune, 10-minute power rune for BZM. It was Arcana rune, otherwise they're not getting that kill on Pango. I talked about the importance of supports getting those level 6s. You are playing against Shadow Demon, so removing his shield is going to be pretty big, because usually he is extremely tanky. And now BZM zips away.
Got to be careful with that Diffusal on Malrine. He starts with that Inhibit.
Reboots. I like that build in a lot of situations where you're playing against these heroes who rely heavily, like Timbersaw, Storm Spirit, who don't have the biggest mana pool, and it allows them to run away from the fight if they have mana. So rushing the Fusel Blade is kind of ideal in this situation.
Supports here starting to get that 6 for the side of Tundra. Now they've got access to that Fiend's Grip. But you can see Skeeter's top of the net worth by a decent margin, and compared to Kez, almost up 1,000 gold already. Obviously, he farms a little bit quicker. He's got that flat cannon to work with, where you're not going to that Battle Fury route for Kez. We already saw the Desolator, but we'll see when, in fact, Pure wants to get involved with this team. If it's going to be at that Deso mark, or if he's going to want something, a +1 item of maybe BKB before that Ags, or want to wait for that Ags before he starts fighting.
I think it's going to be Deso, and then he wants to join. I think in this one, they need to be a bit more active. Him and Storm Spirit, they need to be able to lock onto a target and blow it up instantly. Amar, coming in.
And the swashbuckle, Whitemon in trouble, and he's going to burn out here. Amar comes all the way over and just gets an easy kill. 33 right in his face, though. Windmill gets pop, ball, lightning, Macropire on the ground, Rolling Thunder bumps
stuck.
him up. But he is stuck for a second. They get the kill to Amar. They'll look over his 33, is burning to the Macropire. Swashbuckle from Malrine to get the trade. It is a 2-for-1 that favors Falcons, but they do lose the Bristleback. Still continuing to maintain this 2,000 gold lead. But if they can continue to get track kills, they won't care about that as they'll get gold for everybody.
Malrine did use the unstuck option there. It's always funny, it's like even level 30 Pangos, they find a way how to get stuck in these weird places. Pure, as you said, going for that Deso, getting very close to it. Trying to keep up with the Gyrocopter, not the easiest thing to do, but this is also a relatively fast farmer. Using his Q to be able to clear the camps relatively quickly. And Skeeter again with the twin gate rotation, what they did exactly a couple of minutes ago. Scouting things out with Bounty Hunter. If they catch him here, that's gonna delay his Deso timing.
Gotta be careful in that edge of the jungle, and there's also that ward over mid that they placed for Falcons that gives them some good information, and already it gets pinged out as they saw both the Bane and the Storm smoke to start to go towards top, so protecting themselves within the edges of the map as they are showing the Jakiro, but it's just Jakiro showing top. This smoke's not exactly gonna be best value with getting just Jakiro. And Snake King hides in the trees. He's not even going to get got here by this smoke attempt. At least not yet. They still have Bane coming over. He does have Fiend's Grip, but it will be a warding mission for Whitemon and also going to pick up this Watcher. And they get the kill here onto Snake. He backs off and...
It seems like Snake wants to die. Like, he kind of wanted to die there, knowing that something is happening on the map, but the supports didn't use their ultis yet. Storm Spirit was also missing. Reading the map really well. This is one of the strengths of Team Falcons. They really understand where enemy is pretty much at every single stage of the game. And now that Deso is finished, let's see if Pure decides to join. Amplify damage.
Yeah, Malrine looking for the Rolling Thunder, goes to the inhibit,
He
bumps
got
him up as he Timber Chains, but there's the Fiend's Grip. This will stop the Rolling Thunder for a moment.
No follow-up.
They've got Skeeter coming in. That was just to stop the Rolling Thunder. Maybe Whitemon just sacrificing his life as he's going to be caught here by the side of Falcons. Shrine also stolen. Again, that's 4 shrines while all this is going on. Total, I will say, for Falcons as they get both here. And again, these supports just struggling and continuing to get experience is this dire side. That feels
because they
really
made
bad.
that move. They made that move to the tier 1 tower in the top lane. They did kill it. They didn't find any other kills whatsoever, but they didn't pick up their XP rune and crit. Basically picked it up at 15 minutes.
Yeah, nobody there to pick up that shrine. And again, crit now following Pure. They have this deep ward again, and this is placed here last time they tracked Pure, and Pure needs to be careful. This crit is here, Swashbuckle, Pure on the run. And he'll Raven's Veil, but they dust. They've got the Nightmare. Maybe they can save Pure. Still trying to get away from crit. They're going to bring Storm over. BZM, he's tracked up, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill on a crit. They take out the bounty. They'll look over at Malrine. Amar's going to join the fight. Pure needs to be careful. Double jump on top of him. So he'll Echo Slash away. They bring over 2 more heroes for Falcons, but they do in fact save this Kez.
That's pretty big. Ravensville did dispel track, so he couldn't get the Shuriken off immediately. Nice player there coming out from Pure. Still, pretty big lead for Team Falcons. There's that drums we were talking about, which is going to make them speedy enough to run away from Timber. Yet to see things coming out from Timber. Like, he's been pretty silent in this game. He had a pretty bad matchup in the lane, playing against Jakiro and Gyrocopter. Didn't get too much out of the lane.
Net worth not too bad, all things considered. Yes, he's bottom of the cores, but he's right there with Pango. It's not the worst place to be. But a good job there by Whitemon. That saves Kez and doesn't allow him to get shut down. Nightmare Dust. BZM ready and going to be waiting for a Vortex as they should be able to get crit, but I say that. Rolling Thunder's coming in. They go to the Fiend's Grip once again. They get that kill on a crit, but the Ice Path lands on a 2. Macropire down, bouncing around, trying to get BZM, but the disruption is there for the save. Can they get BZM out?
Oh.
Ball lightning once, but twice, and gets away. Whitemon ends up dying, and BZM getting all the way out of this fight. Just barely making it out with about 30 health. That
Yeah, that was close. Ari with the clutch save, and also he does have Kaya Sanj on Storm Spirit, which makes him super tanky, having that extra bit of a regen amplification as well, having that raw HP, plus also the mana loss reduction is pretty damn good when you're playing against Pango with the Diffusal Blade.
You gotta make sure you have something to zip out. 33, he has this Kaya, going Kaya Sanj. Quickened Brigand's Blade for Pure, as he's continuing to just farm. So we haven't seen him exactly get involved just yet. Ice Path, Dual Breath, and the Blade Mail standing in the Chakram, Timber Chain away, but 33, he's got nowhere to go, and he will end up dead. Snaking getting that kill on 33, who's just caught in no man's land.
You would not expect Bristle and Jakiro to be able to kill Timbersaw 15 minutes into the game, who is, as I said, in the middle of the pack, but is relatively tanky. He caught him really nice with that Ice Path mid Timber Chain, and again, Crit just scouting things out. Doesn't matter how many times this hero dies, he's still gonna be doing what he does the best, scouting things out, killing couriers, taking the enemy XP rune, and this is gonna allow Falcons to go into Roche Pit, seeing that they killed Timbersaw 15 seconds, and look at their damage. They definitely have more than enough. Crit is gonna stay out south, scout things out, to check if they're gonna be maybe contesting, but they are showing on the minimap. You can see that they are seeing basically 3 heroes on Tundra, and this is gonna be a pretty freebie for Falcons.
Aegis there for Skeeter, and free as can be, as you said. Nobody coming over, just continuing to try and farm, and Crit does spot Whitemon all the way over here. He's going to be waiting for reinforcements. The TP attempt.
Wait until the last second. There we go.
Good little try there. Shirkit toss to the neutral camp and back over to Whitemon, who is tracked in the swashbuckle, the shield crash, and another track kill here for the side of Falcons. Malrine on a killing spree. Falcons, I mean, they've got this Aegis to work with, so we'll see how the side of Tundra react. If they're just going to try and avoid fights, they're going to continue to farm. If that's what they want, you know, just continue to move the map and stay away. But it's not easy with Crit, as he is always finding something. And he's found something again. He found Ari. So now Shadow Demon might be next. It's the same play. Just needs somebody to rotate over.
+1.
Can't get it in by himself, but he will back out as the rest of Falcons are pushing the tier 2 top. Again, nobody really trying to fight this for Tundra. They're just trying to farm their way back into the fight and fight back when they're feeling ready. But again, Shadow Demon stopped TPing as they've got that Shadow Walk strike coming through. Now they've got the +1, and this should be a kill. And that will be another track kill coming the way of Falcons as they continue to exacerbate the problems that Tundra have with this bounty hunter in the game.
Crit understands. I really love the play that they're doing, showing 3 heroes, pretending that they are 5, while on the other side of the map, Crit is... There's a lot of mind games going on with these professional E-athletes, and they're going to be getting another objective as well. So Roshan into tier 2 tower, into Tormentor. Crit gets it, so that's pretty big, having friendly Shadow, which does allow you to invis your allies, so you can play a bit of an assassinate type of a game, playing on a different side of the map again. Just slightly more effective. We talked about Kez itemization and also his timings. We thought that he might join in some of these early fights with Deso, but he was found multiple times when he was farming in this outer ring in the bottom. So now he finished off his Aghanim Scepter. This is the pretty massive timing for him, and now they want to make the move. Amar, even sure if that's the hero they want to have the first contact with. He immediately pops the Blade Mill.
Even willing to fight into this Aegis, so they're going to go to the backline, look for Malrine. They go to the Vortex. Now they need to leave. Grappling hook onto the high ground. They did pick up this Rod of Atos for the Timbersaw. That's a big zip, man, but not finding anything just yet. Now he's clipped himself, looks over, can't find the Jakiro. Everybody TPing away for the side of Falcons and escaping from this fight. And Amar even willing to tip BZM. So is Malrine, and Crit again with all the information, seeing this team moving over.
The old creep wave members tipping each other every single time whenever they play against each other.
This friendly Shadow, by the way, for Crit, especially if he continues to just push the experience mark, is going to be very important when he gets that 15 talent, that minus 30% damage while in Shadow Walk. When you get that friendly Shadow out, and that'll help your allies survive even longer in these fights. And we talked about how Malrine with the double jump, he's tanky, Bristle's just naturally tanky. So it gives you even more to feel like you can't be killed.
It also forces you to buy more dust, more sentries, maybe think about gem. But if you lose a gem against Bounty Hunter, the game's kind of GG.
It's a rough cycle to be in. Still a minute and a half on this Aegis Falcons, just meticulously beating out Tundra on all parts of the map.
Very slow and methodical game from Falcons.
Well, dust again, Malrine caught, but what's there really to do here with just 2 heroes? Pure immediately leaving, had that grappling hook. He wants to get away from his support because they know they might turn around. They do go over me, but the ice path is already there. Pure trying to parry his way to safety, but that's a big issue. Dead. Amar already got the kill. 50 seconds without the Kez. Snake King ends up being the trade, but that's not worth it for your carry. Skeeter, he's got this Aegis for 50 seconds, so he doesn't care if he dies the first time, or he will get that kill. Fiend's Grip here on the Pangolier, but they get the kill on a White Mon. They've taken up both supports now with Shadow Demon dying. They have no Kez, he's got buyback, but BZM is in again. And he doesn't have a lot of mana to play with. This Diffusal is going to make that even worse. This homing missile's coming in. They've got the Blade Mail now. Uh-oh, Skeeter kills off 33. The look at BZM. Full team wipe for the side of Falcons.
Blade Mail from Amar, like this item build from him, really ruining Timbersaw completely. He doesn't get to play the game every single time he gets close. That kill that when he was paired up with Jakiro in the top lane, showing that the itemization really works out. And Pango, I gotta point out his itemization. This time around, he didn't go for Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't think he needs to have more damage or have more tankiness. Instead, opted to go for Blink and Shard immediately afterward, just so that he can potentially lock down Storm Spirit, have a little bit more survivability as well, because he knows that every single time in the fight, he's gonna get gripped. He wants to cut into backlines, he wants to find these 2 supports, and you're forcing Fiend's Grip to be used every single time on your Pango. I don't think he died many times to it, maybe just once.
Take a look at this replay, and immediately Kez caught. The secondary strikes still on Pure, even though he goes into that Raven's Veil. This doesn't matter, and the Nightmare is just a little bit late. They can't really commit on a Skeeter either. He's got this Aegis, which he ends up using, but then he's back in full health, full mana. What can you really do?
Yeah, watch 33. He's half HP here. He's gonna decide to go in. Malrine managed to survive, and then Amar is going to pop the Blade Melt, and it's going to kill him straight away. I think there was also small crit coming out from Skeeter there. And now this game completely flips.
Yeah,
Tundra,
all those track kills.
Tundra, not sure what their option is, because this type of a lineup needed to punch back early on. You needed to have this Kez and bring probability closer to 69, which does say a lot about the game.
Lotus picked up for Amar. This is something
massive.
that I thought Tundra
when he gets
needed.
this Lotus Orb, it's going to be pretty massive. If we talk about the dispelling things from Kez, great against Bane as well. You throw that onto your Pangolier when he decides to roll in. Seems like they might want to poke the high ground as well. BZM needs to be careful. You don't necessarily need to have that much lockdown if you're grouping up as 5. We did say that on paper it looks like a really good Storm Spirit game, but you need to be able to kill the side lanes. Storm Spirit, he always had this like one big issue. If other team is 10-15k gold ahead, if they group up with a lot of team items, he's not going to be able to do as much.
See if they can start to punch back at all. Only 7 kills to their name for Tundra.
He got the Deso charge. That's what matters. Not sure when that happened. Probably when he got initiated on after that killed Jakiro.
But it's the only charges he's got.
Took him good 15 minutes to get those charges up.
Daedalus for Gyro soon enough. Could always chop shop that. They're going to find themselves BZM, the roll up and the lockdown with the Ice Path. Everybody here, the track is going to be used, but they've got the Yules. And they'll have this Shadow Walk strike to stun him if they could just hit him. But BZM, the ball lightnings are perfect. The movement's there, and he's able to escape barely from this Falcons lineup.
Seems like they were not on the same page. Who's going to be using, whether he's going to be using the roll-up on Pango, or whether he needs to stun immediately with the Ice Path. A bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from Falcons, but they're going to let this one slide.
I'll let this one slide, and you could slide on over to the YouTube channel. Just put !F into the chat. You'll find yourself all the highlights from Fissure Playground 2, and you can also click the banner below to check out all the highlights so far. We look at this game at 26.5 minutes. With a 10,000 net worth lead, they are kind of holding it there for now, but obviously a lot of this gets pushed when they are starting to fight. Kez gets enough time. Maybe he could put the damage out there, but he's not top of the net worth. That Echo Slash, I've seen it before, just take out supports in one ability use.
Oh, he got it. Mid Timber Chain again. so far, Falcons, they've been very crisp dealing with this Timber Saw with the ice bats and everything and not overlapping things. And he's going to die one more time. 33, not really having a game in this one.
Very silent so far. Perseverance flying out and picked up for the Bounty Hunter. We'll see. There's going to be 45 more seconds on this Roche, and BKB next for Kez. Maybe the BKB's timing is where they
We
feel
said that
confident.
once he picks up the Deso, then we said Aghanim Scepter. Yep, that's
one more
the big
item.
one.
One more item.
But this might be that big item where he doesn't die immediately, but we need to see what happens afterwards.
This is anti-mage games in my pubs in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's always one more item.
They're grouped up here on Falcons once again. All 5 heroes. They're going to smoke. Nobody here on this side of the map for the side of Tundra. They are all opposite of them. We're looking to push maybe this tier 2 and also steal a shrine. I think this is either only their first or second shrine of the game.
Never mind, they learned their lesson. Invaded the enemy side of the map.
This is their first shrine of the game. 28 minutes in. That's brutal. Roche is back up, so we'll see if Falcon set up for it. We'll see if Tundra, wow, they are paranoid. They're really paranoid.
Random dust.
Make sure that bounty's not right there to stop my TP again. Wow, that is annoying. They write the line on the map to go for Roche, but
It's going to be
have
too
committed
late.
in.
They're going to
Unless
hear
they go
the
right
roar.
there. Not quick enough.
Not for this type of a move. They want to run straight into Roche Pit. They might be able to do it, but seems
now
like they're
they're
too
going-
late.
yeah.
The full wraparound, it's not going to work.
Finally picking it up. Aegis there for Skeeter. As BZM waiting on this cliff. They are still smoked on the side of Tundra. I don't know if I would advise myself to go into this fight.
Massive item on Bounty Hunter. He does have Pipe available, great against Shadow Demon. There's a good amount of pure damage as well. We're talking about Timber. We're talking about Bane pure as well, and that doesn't work against Pipe, but against every other damage, it's gonna make them super tanky. He just needs another 60 gold to finish it off.
Again, Tundra just playing the opposite side of the map. They're probably not going to come back for the first set. I'll have 33 try to defend it, but everybody else farming for now. BZM cutting the creep wave top. Kez is out bottom. He's not here, so give up the tier 3. Kez is starting to come back, but it's going to be a fight into the Aegis. Maybe they can get the first life out of the hands of Skeeter. They drop down the ice path. That's life number 1. But can you get more?
Look at him, Mark. Immediately goes into high ground, turns his back around. That was pretty clean from Tundra. BZM zipping in,
200 gold
getting
for
the
Kez.
kills. They don't have any defensive tools. They don't have any defensive abilities as well. The only thing they can do pretty much is throw a Lotus Orb on him, which is not enough. And he's still not tanky enough, so I think before they go for the high ground next time, he wants to have Satanic of his own.
That might be a little while. We'll see if they want to wait for Aegis as well. But he's farming up, continuing to stay top of the net worth. Kez not too far behind him, but again, we're just not feeling the damage here from this Kez, or really many of these heroes from Tundra. There was a Hex queued up for Bounty. Crystal is flying out for Pure. They pick up and commit to this gem for Tundra. No more random dusts.
We said it needs to come out eventually. You're playing against Bounty Hunter, you're playing against Friendly Shadow as well that he got for free. But you cannot afford to lose this gem. 33.
Viscous Nasal Goo on him, and he's trying to run with the Timber Chain. He's got this Ag, so he'll explode. Now the ball lightning in. BZM's going forward, but the Ice Path's going to be off the mark as he zips over to the right. Skitter's here with him. BKB's popped. He doesn't have a lot of mana. He's trying to run away. Go to the inhibit. It's on a 33. He's trying to get up the steps. Homie missile flying in. The damage on a 33. Fiend's grip here on the Pangolier, but it's not going to matter. Ari's going to be dead too. 2 heroes gone. Skitter with the BKB, but Pure trying to get a kill out of the Gyrocopter. Just can't quite commit all the way in to get this
And
kill.
Maureen is in.
Maureen's right in with him. Pure's going to be dead. 70 seconds without this case. What can you do now? I don't even know if you can hold without these heroes.
It's just Mulrain is doing too much in these fights, making sure that he is locking down the Timber Saw. Again, Timber not being able to do as much as he wants to in these fights. Usually this hero is relatively tanky, and now you have Lincoln's here as well available on Amar. Not your traditional build on Bristleback as well. I guess he understands that he needs to be able to just protect his Gyrocopter, protect his Pangolier when he runs in, and be annoying as possible, because he's not going to get focused. We saw what happens when they focus him with his Blade Mail. Gale Guard as well, Lotus Orb, super tanky, turns his back immediately.
Lincolns gets popped, but now they use the Ice Path. Malrine is in. Ari is dead again.
This just might be it.
33's got nothing to give back. BZM trying to do his best, but this Falcons lineup is just overloading this Tundra defense. Skeeter back into the fight. He went all the way back to base. Didn't die in that last exchange, so he was able to TP back. Now he's here again. There's 2 sets. Full support's still dead for Tundra. They're going to try for Megas. They don't even have this Aegis. If they really wanted to, they could back up, play it safe, but they don't need to. All Lightning in and out one more time.
They almost managed to kill Skeeter in the previous fight. He didn't have Satanic. That's the biggest issue. He has one right now, and they need to figure out that they're going to be playing against Megas.
They'll go in again, but
Skeeter.
He's got this Satanic. He'll try to get back to full. Pure with the Raptor's Dance, but not doing enough damage. Skeeter's back to full health. BKB's going to run down in a moment on a Pure. He'll parry away, but they get the kill there on a Whitemon once more. No Bane, no Shadow Demon. Full support's gone once more, and it's Mega Creeps here for Falcons. Vortex is on what is the, quote, weakest hero on Falcons, but everybody here is strong enough to withstand anything that Tundra throws their way. Have this Ags on, Jakiro as well. These heroes are so farmed. This track just making it impossible for Tundra to even fight back, but they don't call GG even though they're down 30,000 and they just cannot find a kill.
So you're telling me there's still a chance?
I don't know. That would be up to DOTA Plus.
Yeah, Gaben will probably give them 1%. 6%? That's very generous. Let's see who Gaben likes in this one. It has to be Kez. Kez plus Storm Spirit.
You think so?
Because I don't think it's coming up from Shadow Demon or Bane.
Single-handedly, Skeeter having better stats on
Doubling
everything
the
right
damage.
now with Gyro, yeah. I mean, now with the Satanic, thinking about the Sanj and Yasha, again, has this Chop Shop. If he really wanted to get rid of the Daedalus, go to the Divine, but it's not that kind of situation, so he doesn't need it. They're also going to grab another shard. They're 1 shard away from completing the entire team's shards. The only one who doesn't have it is Gyro now. But they do smoke out, and they try to find anything, but the problem is you're up against Megas. If you spend too long out of the base, it's going to be a big issue, especially they'll see 33 defending, but they now know there's no Timbersaw either. And that's all they see defending. Looks like they're going to set up at the Twin Gate, but you can't really hold a position too long when you're, again, up against Megas.
You're revealing only 1 hero in your base for good 30+ seconds.
Satanic now for Amar, too.
Satanic, yeah, there's another one.
They'll steal this shrine that they desperately need. Rolling Thunder, and that is going to be a kill here for Whitemon. Steal it away from the Bane that's right there. Another track kill. That 1 kill worth so much. I mean, you see the net worth jump with just the kill on a Bane. Tough crippling crossbow for Pure. Tough magnifying monocle for Skeeter. And a Wind Waker recipe flying out for Bounty. Assume he's got everything on that. Yeah, he does. So he's got that Wind Waker. I don't even know if you can control somebody enough with now this Wind Waker in the mix.
Yeah, there was a funny stat on the screen that Crit got 270 gold from creeps in this game. So basically all from the kills.
Whitemon again going to be spotted, and the big hit here from Amar. There was a Bane. Then you blinked and there wasn't. 1 shot from Gyro, 1 shot from the Bristle. Gleipnir from 33. They are in towards these tier 4s, and they'll pop that reactive armor. They'll try to get the kill here on the Bounty Hunter, but he can't even do that. Pure
he
trying
got
to jump
clipped.
in, but that's going to be bounce up, and now he's trying to parry his way to safety, but Pure will be dead. 75 seconds, has himself buyback. The chase is on for 33, and they've got themselves another kill. As again, they'll try for crit, but again, crit will finally die. They got the bounty hunter. They get another kill. Maybe this is a chance.
That's a dub.
For the side
That's
of
a dub in
Tundra.
my book.
That's a win.
I think
and
Falcon
pulling
should
in
call it.
Amar. Okay.
All right.
90 seconds.
No
Comeback
cans for
starts now.
50.
BZM in looking for Malrine for a second. Not even committing this buyback from the Kez yet.
It was very clean up until this point. Pure with the buyback. Let's see if they can get something done out of this.
Maybe look for Snake King. Ice Path going to be used.
No mana on him.
Echo Strike, BKB, Disruption. That's to protect BZM, but the run down here and the kill is there. And he'll get the Storm. He's got buyback. Both him and the Timber finally buyback, but the Rolling Thunder comes out with the blink forward on a 33. Ball Lightning, Vortex, pulling at Skeeter now. Pure going to try and come in. Goes to the Raptor Dance, healing
The
up
biggest
a
we've
little
seen so
bit,
far.
but BZM still chased up. Double kill for Skeeter. They've got the kill on everybody as they will run them down. GG is called. Game 1 goes Team Falcons.
Very clean up until this last point. Where
running into
the fountain, they had to
might be a
remove
bit of
the beyond godlike streak on Amar, but very clean execution. I think it comes down to two supports having gigantic impact compared to what Tundra was able to do, especially their XP rune getting stolen. And that first move where they managed to steal the XP rune, get a kill on the enemy offlaner, kill the tower as well. The map opened up. They kind of replicated the same thing in the bottom lane, and they managed to scout out Pure, kill him one more time, and his game was kind of donezo after that. Like, we talked about the timings on Kez where he needs to be active, and it just never happened in this one.
Yeah, BZM trying to do all he can, knowing that there's a little bit of a lack of lockdown here for Falcons, but wasn't able to pick up the pace where Pure kind of, slowed down after those couple of deaths over in the jungle. But you take a look at the statistics, and Malrine only dies once, Amar only dies 3 times, but Skeeter never dies. 7-0 and 16. You're only killing a Jakiro twice, kind of tells the tale of what's going on, and 10 kills only, and the MVP is going to be Amar.
I think his Blade Mail pickup was also like
Clutch.
something that he does really well is understanding of the itemization. When he's playing his offlane Fango, he always pretty much goes for the same item build with his Bracer, with his Null, does the same thing on Bristleback, and then he, I would say, surprises most of the people, surprised 33 the most with this Blade Mail, which kind of ruined him completely. He was unable to kill him, because this is the only hero that can kind of kill Bristleback at some of these early engagements. He also didn't have that good of a lane, but Amar just, again, top-tier performance coming up from him. This was overall the last big Bristleback. Not the stun, not the control that we needed, but they understood the assignment. They understood that if they group as 5, if they are going to be making these moves on the side lanes, if they are controlling objectives on the map, Roshan and Tormentor, getting the friendly Shadow, making sure that any kind of a play that they're trying to make on a different side of the map is just not happening, thanks to the crit.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like they should have been a little bit tankier with 33, but he ends up melting. I mean, there was just nothing that was keeping them alive, and Falcon's doing a very good job of just maneuvering the map and making sure that really Tundra got nothing. I mean, 10 kills overall is just, especially with what we thought was going to come from that lineup, a little bit disappointing when you think about how Kez, we said, Desolator, this is the item, he'll finally go, and then 30 minutes into the game, Deso still has 0 charges on it, and he's really not fighting at all. So, is that shot call something that maybe they regret? Should have forced more fights? Crit kind of had a free game, which is insane. Yeah. I mean, he was moving around, getting so much information for the side of Falcons. In my eyes, he could have been MVP as well with how much he opened up, how many times he helped find Kez or stop these TPs and get those kills. Opened it up where they had that 4, 5, 6,000 net worth lead very early on. Everything running on all cylinders in this first game for Falcons.
Yep, and to talk about the Tundra support duo as well, they were kind of in a bad spot, which is very difficult to play from behind with these two supports. You don't have a clear target to go for, other than Bane. He wants to grip the Pangolier, but he becomes way too tanky for the rest to kill, and they're cutting into the backlines, forcing potentially disruptions to be used on themselves to try to save themselves, and the damage output is just not there compared to the other side.
Yeah, so game 1 goes the way of Falcons. We're going to be going to the highlights, taking a quick break before game number 2. We'll see you in a bit. Stay tuned.
everybody want this. I'm untouchable, stacked up Greek god. I got that thunder and lightning, energy rush. I've been winning since the day I was made. Bet you wanna be one.